Have you ever walked into a store to buy just one thing, only to leave with a cart full of items you never planned to buy? The strange part is that every extra purchase somehow felt completely necessary, even though you didn't need it just moments earlier. This isn't a lack of self-control. Your brain naturally prefers instant rewards over long-term benefits, making every click and every purchase feel surprisingly satisfying. Businesses understand this psychology extremely well. Every display, every product placement, and every carefully designed environment is built to capture your attention and influence your decisions. So before blaming your spending habits, ask yourself one question. Did you really choose that purchase, or did your brain make the decision before you even realized it? Most of those purchases weren't actual needs. Your brain quietly transforms simple wants into urgent necessities before you even realize what's happening. One of the biggest reasons is the fear of missing out. The moment you see other people buying something, your brain starts treating that product like an opportunity you can't afford to lose. Psychologists call this social proof. When something appears popular or in high demand, your brain automatically assumes it must be valuable, even if nothing about the product has actually changed. Scarcity makes the effect even stronger. The rarer something seems, the more your brain convinces you that owning it will make you happier. By the time you believe you've made a rational decision, your subconscious has often been guiding you for several seconds without you ever noticing. Your brain isn't chasing happiness as much as it's chasing anticipation. Scientists have found that dopamine rises before a purchase, making the excitement of buying feel stronger than actually owning the product. But that excitement fades surprisingly fast. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation, our tendency to quickly get used to new possessions, causing them to lose their emotional impact. As soon as that feeling disappears, your brain starts searching for the next purchase that promises the same excitement. Without realizing it, you begin repeating the exact same cycle. This is why buying something new often feels satisfying for only a short time, while the desire for something else returns almost immediately. The truth is, you're rarely chasing the product itself. You're chasing the temporary feeling your brain expects that purchase will create. You may think you're making independent choices, but your surroundings are quietly making decisions for you. Everything from lighting to store layout is carefully designed to keep you browsing just a little longer. Your brain doesn't only respond to what it sees. Smells, sounds, and even comfortable lighting can increase the desire to buy without you ever realizing why. Behavioral economists call this the anchoring effect. Your brain judges value by comparing options, not by measuring what something is actually worth. The more often you repeat a purchase, the less your brain questions it. Eventually, buying becomes a habit instead of a conscious decision. The moment you become aware of these hidden influences, they begin to lose their power. And that's where real control over your spending finally begins. Most people don't buy products. They buy the version of themselves they believe those products represent. Companies understand that identity often sells better than utility. Research shows that emotions heavily influence spending. When you're stressed, lonely, or mentally exhausted, buying something can feel like a quick solution, even when it solves nothing. Behavioral studies have found that people often assume expensive products perform better, even before using them. Price doesn't just influence what you buy, it changes what you expect to experience. Looking back, many purchases seem unnecessary. That's because your logical brain often explains a decision only after your emotional brain has already made it. The goal isn't to stop buying things. It's to recognize when you're buying because you truly need something and when your brain has simply convinced you that you do. One of the simplest ways to avoid unnecessary spending is to delay the decision. Studies suggest that giving yourself time reduces emotional buying and allows logic to catch up with impulse. Before every purchase, ask yourself one honest question. Would I still want this if nobody else ever saw it? That single question removes emotion and exposes your true motivation. The harder it is to spend, the less often you'll do it. Even adding a few extra seconds between desire and purchase can dramatically reduce impulse buying. Impulse creates excitement for a moment. Value creates satisfaction that lasts much longer. The most rewarding purchases are often the ones that improve your life instead of simply entertaining you. The difference isn't that disciplined people never shop. It's that they choose with intention instead of emotion. Once you control the decision, every purchase becomes a choice, not a reaction. The excitement of buying something new rarely lasts. Research shows that we quickly adapt to new possessions, and what once felt exciting soon becomes completely ordinary. That's why experiences often bring more lasting happiness than material things. A trip, a meaningful conversation, or time with family creates memories that continue to grow long after the moment has passed. Gratitude also changes the way your brain makes financial decisions. When you appreciate what you already have, the constant urge to buy something new naturally becomes weaker. Before every purchase, pause and ask yourself one simple question. Am I solving a real problem, or am I just trying to improve my mood? That brief moment of reflection can completely change the decision. Real financial freedom doesn't come from being able to buy everything you want. It comes from reaching a point where you no longer feel like you have to. Every purchase you make begins with a decision, but that decision is often shaped by emotions, habits, and psychological triggers long before you're aware of them. The good news is that awareness changes everything. Once you recognize how your brain influences your spending, you regain the power to make intentional choices instead of automatic ones. Financial freedom isn't about never spending money. It's about making sure every dollar supports your goals rather than satisfying a temporary emotion. Remember, wealth is built through small decisions repeated consistently over time. Every thoughtful purchase is another step toward a stronger financial future. If this documentary changed the way you think about money and human psychology, subscribe for more videos exploring the hidden forces behind our everyday decisions. And the next time something suddenly feels like a necessity, take a moment and ask yourself why.